Hello, hello. So, quite a few years ago, I met a very nice lady that had a cosmetics company. And she told me that in the old days, she would come to meet with her suppliers and they would have some agreement and they would handshake and everything would move forward. And sometimes they could deliver and sometimes they couldn't deliver and sometimes there were issues and so on, but they worked together. And she told me that the bigger the company became and the forward society moved and the more lawyers they had, things changed. And what she told me was that now the negotiation room felt very differently. That they were not talking about what they could do together. They started like before, when she would talk to them, I want to do this and I want to do this, and how can you help me with this, and how can you help me with this? And it was all about positive things that could happen together. She said at the moment she brought lawyers to the fold, all of a sudden the discussion was about what do we do in case of failure? What do we do if your product is poisoning people? And what do we do if your product is doing this? And what she said was that the people, her suppliers, that always worked on doing good things together, all of a sudden felt attacked. It was all of a sudden as if they felt, I want you to say what happened if you poison me. It's as if you have an intention to poison our customers. So I want to say what happened if you, deliver something that is not consistent. But they basically, the lawyers wanted to cover all of these edge cases, very unlikely edge cases that would happen. But covering each one of those was actually blaming was as if they were blaming the suppliers for doing those things. And she said that it became very tough after that. That after these sessions of blame and edge cases and what would happen if you poison, what would happen if you do this, and their goodwill was diminished. She said that before she had lots of lawyers, they would agree on something, but then later on, often they would renegotiate or realize that they need more of this or less of this, and goodwill was the thing that kept the deal going, and the goodwill was the thing that got the collaboration to move forward. But now that it was started with accusations and how do we make sure you don't poison us and so on, there was not this openness to keep on working later on. That it became, that's the contract we signed. You want to renegotiate? Let's open the whole thing. You want another 10%? It would cost you X more. Everything became much more, less about the long term, more about the short term, less about the meaning of what we signed and more about the specifics, and certainly less friendly and collaborative. And I think that's one of the things that we do. We're human. We're social animals. We're not legal animals. We understand trust, and we understand camaraderie, and we understand mutual goals, and we understand flexibility. And when you add the legal system into it, and now you say no, it's about rules and obedience and so on, the humanity part leaves. It's called crowding out. And now we're staying just with the rules, and it's not a system that maximizes the goodness in human nature. So, how do we fight it? How do we get less legal? How do we get more of our humanity into this?